Welcome. As it's tradition here on Good Morning Anambra, the press review, we begin with papers making rounds on ABS website. And the first paper we have for you this morning is CVR. INEC urges eligible voters living with disabilities to participate actively.
Ex-DSS Director Chukura attacks in the Anambra State Agone Chamber on professionalism.
Anambra State Government approves 2024 Business Enabling Reforms Action Plan.
Anambra PPSSC Chairman Ikedugu asks principals to be role models to teachers.
Former President Obasanjo blames Nigeria's challenges on leadership.
Super Falcon stars Alay, how do you call this name?
Ashley.
Okay, why did they write it like this? Okay, Ashley who?
Plumtree.
Okay, you can finish the news.
Rashidat Ajibade included in 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations Group Stage Best 11.
Okay, so finally from here, Cuba Labor Minister resigns after denying existence of beggars in country.
Wow, that's interesting. Quickly,
Men of honor.
Let's begin with the INEC urging eligible voters living with disabilities to participate actively. Yeah, it's their right, it's everybody's right. So long you've passed the age of 18, you definitely have what it takes to definitely go and cast your votes and then make your voice be heard. And it's part of what TAF Africa did when they had a meeting with journalists and other stakeholders in the election, that INEC should provide certain materials that will make it easy for people living with disabilities to actually have access to voting when election comes up. And I think it's very, very important that they be inclusive in whatever that we are doing. Actually, nobody decided to come into this world with any form of disability, but then it's the responsibility of government and then INEC as regards our elections to make sure that they too can have their voices heard.
Yes, apart from being sympathetic to some people living with disabilities, of course, which most of them don't even like, there's need for us to also help them. Okay, once they get to the polling units, those of them that cannot walk very well, those of them that cannot see, and a whole lot of things. And then INEC, again, to make the environment very, very conducive for them to be able to move freely and, exercise their franchise as citizens of this country. Very, very important place.
Yeah, very important, not just for INEC, but for us to, just like IJ here said, because sometimes when we see people living with disabilities, there's this disdain kind of look or whatever. We find it so difficult to render
like
help.
They don't amount to anything.
Yeah,
is this one here too? Why must you come to vote?
So if you find them in maybe a while at the polling unit, you've been waiting for long, and you see people with disability, you can sacrifice your spot so that they can do exercise their franchise and go home early, So this is what we are appealing to individuals, and then INEC will believe that we'll do the
and then engage them, find out what they want.
Exactly.
Like I said earlier, most of them don't like you sympathizing with them. Engage them, find out how do we do this. You're here to vote, so how may I help
you?
That kind of a thing.
They should include that in the teaching, in the training of their adult selves that oversees election.
Okay.
Now, former President Olusegun Obasanjo blames Nigeria's challenges on leadership. How true is that?
He was part of the he was a part of the leadership system, so there's no doubt that he knows what he's talking about.
I hope he's inclusive in that.
No, well, give it to him. He did well, approximately well, when he was there, and then he was able. That's why he's able to charge those of them that are there now to do well, do the things he's supposed to do. When he was here, we didn't notice this spate of nepotism that is going on in appointments and here and there. So because he was just appointing everybody.
He was across board, based on
what
merit.
you can offer. You know, if you are in the United States and you can do this, he will go and bring you back to come and serve your land. He did a whole lot of them. I think that was when our governor became the CBN governor. And a whole lot of them. You are from this arid area of the north and then you can manage agriculture. You come and be minister for agriculture. So, you know, that kind of a thing. So perhaps that's why...
What did Obasanjo do differently that we've missed out, let me say, from Yaradua? Or even Goodluck? Because Goodluck was detribalized too.
Yes. So these are the people that came after him. And then after Goodluck, it became something else.
Okay, that's how we're going to be starting today with...
Yeah, I would have loved us to look at the story. Ex-DSS Director Chukwura attacks Anambra State Agune Chamber on professionalism. I want to talk about this because, in fact, let me just bring it down. Imana izi nwatakili ozi ya je gota agoko. O je gota oko instead of iwe na tiake wele asie nni. O wele eje wunye na afia kpolonko for that matter. Wunye eba perhaps on egwu wuri wunye eba. De afifia elekolo oko ogba na gba ife akona na gbalo bayebe mmadu gba mmadu. Ana say no gizi nwata jeje go talk but isi jeje go talk ka we see ni nothing je wunye na afia ama mi fenja so le fa na igbo ka anyi li adudu onwa anyi iyotago and then I may fa can screen for very well. Somebody said something that really touched me. Kedundibu members of this place, where are they from? Then with this kind of envy and jealousy, some of our brothers against in the Anambra. So I got to be careful man they choose this people. Onye cholo na chobuli foge megi nye se ache beginche. So these are some of the things we want people to look into. Korali bunha no za na eme na akpa wadeka ane ebutelo government ajafa. Eyotagon if I could sit potala and dig China obro ndige buai. These are the things and man ihabo election campaign era. Anybody can use anything against you. So that's why we just have to be very careful. Just I'm joining my voice to the voice of this DSS Director Chukwura. Yes. Well,
if we are man, no, you really actually said it and hit the nail on it. Security, though it's everybody's business, but in the area of recruiting, those that will be our, gatekeepers to say, people that will be at the forefront of, making sure that criminality doesn't fester and it doesn't come to our doorsteps. It's very, very good to adopt proper scrutiny in selecting and appointing those that will definitely run the affairs of security in any environment, not necessarily Anambra State, but we are using Anambra State as a reference point here. And that's how we want to continue on that. And then quickly, let's move to
Are you living at this last story, AJ? Because we just talked about the leaders in Nigeria, and look at what the leader in Cuba did. He told lies, maybe to just, save his face. Maybe people, just like some of the things we see around, will ask a government official, how do you allow this thing to? He said, well, it's not true. There's no beggar in my country, because that's what I can't find any beggar. And then they brought proof showing him, look at beggars everywhere. You say there's no beggar. And he resigned. That's where I'm going. He resigned. Okay, when you say something, when you try to deceive people with your statements, and then you were proved wrong, you are expected to resign. Nothing will happen to you if you resign. You will even become a hero. That's one thing African leaders don't know. The resignation can make you a hero that you hitherto you wouldn't have smelled, even though that you were in power. You can go and fizzle out just like that. But some of these things.
And to even buttress what you're saying, it's not the job of the leader, the president, whosoever, either the mayor or the governor, to actually walk around the streets to know if they are beggars. So somebody must have been. That is somebody's job.
Honey, it's not the job of the leader to know that we're hungry. That's exactly what you're saying in essence. Because he couldn't go to families to find out whether they're eating or not.
But there is no place on this earth that there are no beggars. Even in Mecca, there are beggars.
I don't know. We're not talking about beggar. We'll just use that one as an example.
Yeah.
Okay? Look at the name, leader. So who are you leading if you don't know what's going on in my life?
But that is the way it should be. A leader, that is why you're delegating people to do certain job for you.
And then when you choose the right people. Now, I will tell you, not people will just be praising you. You are doing wonderful. Your Excellency, oh, I heard that this happened. No, Your Excellency, don't mind them. They are distractors. You are doing very well. No, that person is not helping you.
Okay, quickly, let's begin with the Daily Times for review this morning. And that's the first paper we shall be looking into. And then the banner headline is talking about Buhari's death, a major loss to Nigeria, Africa. That's coming from Shetima. And then at the mass there, we have lost Buhari, we have lost a mentor, Northern Pride, Arewa Group. And then we also have 151 senior police officers face disciplinary action over misconduct. We have Atiku resigns from PDP. Your exit won't affect party, says Makinde. Senator wives commiserate with Aisha Buhari, urge prayers for children. Buhari's exit, politicians must be humble, fulfill election promises. That's coming from Lukman. Also, we have here inflation eases to 22.22% as CBN faces key rate decision. That's all we have for you on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper this morning.
Okay, coming up next is the Punch newspaper. 2027 tensions, Buhari's CPC bloc may damn APC is the banner headline there with the rider. Some CPC chieftains likely to quit, but the APC remains unshaken. This is coming from Shitu. Where is Shitu? Okay. Other stories coming from here. 2027 articles PDP as a sparks political firestorm. Why somebody is saying that it wouldn't affect PDP. Okay, so why are they complaining? JAMB uncovers 9,460, what's looking here? 460 illegal admissions in 20 tertiary institutions. I remember what happened when we were entering university. Some people were pushed out of the school, they went and wrote JAMB. In their final years, they went and wrote JAMB and started again. Okay, Obasanjo Anyoko push for better leadership and then new constitution. CBN injects 4.1 billion naira to defend naira as reserves decline. Down here, Shetima Atiku Obi attend Buhari's Fidwa in Daura. Was Shetima not at the burial? Some of the people that attended the other day was, majority of them were not, like Obi, were not at the burial spot. Okay, insurgency. NAF to acquire 49 new fighter jets. The ones that we acquired before, where are they? And what have we achieved with them? 151 top police officers under investigation, says MPF. And then Fayose whips as court clears ex-governor of 6.9 billion naira fraud. That's all coming from here.
Okay, quickly, let's go next to the Daily Independent for review this morning. And at the masks, we have federal government moves to boost local fish production to end importation. Also, we have here Buhari's exit ends victory by endorsement for politicians. That's coming from Lukman. And at the banner headline, Atiku's resignation from PDP inconsequential. That's coming from Makinde and others. More resignations may follow in weeks. Party chieftains say Anyawu's reinstatement PDP's preventable debt. And then we have inflation eases to 22.22% in June on stable FX. And we have Atiku Obi El-Rufai at Buhari's graveside in Daura, condole with family. Shetima recounts last moment with Buhari, 6.9 billion fraud case. EFCC vows to appeal Fayose's acquittal. Overtaxation may kill more airlines in Nigeria. That's coming from operators. And we have investors trade 10.467 billion units of first hold companies share for 324 naira. That's all we have for you on the front page of the Daily Independent this morning.
Okay, and on the front page of the Daily Sun, we'll have the stories coming. Shetima Atiku Obi orders a temporary session for Daura final rice host today. Okay. PDP Atiku's exit means nothing, says Makinde. We've heard you. Let's see how it goes. But the banner headline there says, calls for new constitution reverberates yet again. With some riders there, Anyoko, Tambuwao, Daniel, Ubi of Onitsha, Atta, others make case, call for urgent overhaul. And then operators, nation's problem, says Obasanjo. Okay, and that's another angle to the whole thing. And then down here, we'll have Nigeria's oil production rises above OPEC quota. And then alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud, EFCC, to appeal Fayose's acquittal. Even when he's celebrating already. Okay, cut orders final for future of 335 million naira. Hospital, 5 filling stations, others to federal government. So this is part of the judgment. Okay. UBS Leo becomes Africa's first chatbot for cross-border transfers. Why I can't forget Buhari, ex-EFCC boss, Farida Waziri. That's all coming from here.
Up next for review this morning is the Guardian newspaper. And we have there Anyoku Obasanjo differ on new constitution. We've seen this other Fayose story. Plateau urges calm as Riyom attack, death toll rises to 32. And we have Buhari farewell, the banner headline on the Guardian newspaper. Obi Atiku defend absence as Lukman flags shift in endorsement. Tinubu showers praises. Tinubu showers praises, tributes rather, at FEC meeting today. Atiku's PDP exit letter aimed at stalling spotlight from Buhari's death, says Keyamo. Shetima leads fidel prayers for former president in Daura. Chinese President Xi sends condolence message to Tinubu. And we have CPPE advocates trade policy, an instrument to further ease inflation. Party leaders unfazed as Atiku dumps PDP the 3rd time. Osun residents raise concern over Adeleke Aregbesola face-off. Federal government blames rising cases of cardiovascular diseases on high sodium intake. Also, we have Urewa DSS ex-director dismissed Turkish envoy's alarm as political.
So what are the faces of these people doing at the center of the paper? I can see Buhari, Tinubu, who again? Atiku at the back, Obi, Keyamo, and who is the other person?
And those are the people that were talked about in the rider. The Atiku's PDP exit letter aimed at stealing spotlight from Buhari's death. So,
okay. Well, let's move on and look at the next paper in line, which is the Daily Trust. On the front page of the Daily Trust, Makinde, Keyamo, others react as Atiku quits PDP again. Okay. These tweeters. Okay, and up here, experts link FS stability, seasonal farming to inflation drop. Abducted is it Niger or Niger? Okay, it's Niger. Abducted Niger women return with pregnancies and babies. You can imagine what's going on in this country. Alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud, EFCC appeals Fayose's acquittal. Okay, we have seen that story before. 151 police officers before disciplinary panel over ethical violations and others. With a rider there, 34 sacked in 2 years only.
How many do we have that 34? We are sacking 34.
I don't know.
Before we begin to review, let's go on and see the Vanguard newspaper. 2027, Atiku's exit won't affect our fortunes. That's coming from PDP, Makinde, and Bode George. Why I resigned from PDP, Atiku? His exit means nothing, PDP. It won't affect PDP's fortune, Governor Makinde. Ex-VP has confirmed his selfishness. That's coming from Bode George. Well, he doesn't need to be the only one saying that. And at the mass of it all, we have...
Is he the only one that is
on cross carpeting.
Or potting, or whatever they do.
Nigeria's inflation rate declined third consecutive month to 22.22%, and we have Obedient deny alleged rift between Peter Obi and Nenedi Usman. And also we have Nigeria's problems. Obasanjo Anyoku disagree over 1999 constitution. Operating environment remains harsh. Businesses groaning. That's coming from NECA and NLC. Also, we have Shetima, Atiku, Obi, Kingibe, Rada, Zulum, El Rufai, others pray for Buhari in Daura. And we have Southwest doctors to Tinubu. You are stretching our patients beyond civility. Pipeline protection, CBS charges communities on ownership of national assets. And on page 40, you'll find a sports story there. We are ready for Zambia, coming from Ashley Plumtree. Okay.
Let's look at the last paper for review this morning, which is the Nation newspaper. Where do I start? Why Southwest should endorse Tinubu for second term now, by Kayode Ojo. That story is on page 4, but the banner headline here says, knocks for SVP Atiku after dumping PDP for third time. Unage had to. Okay, with a writer there, I left because of irreconcilable differences. Exist is of no effect, says Makinde. You guys talk too much. Okay, down here, O2 Decor is this first hold call in 323 billion naira deal. Whatever. And then prayers for Buhari in Daura and Abuja. Any other story of interest up here? Obasanjo, Anyoku differ on need for new constitution. Okay, that's all. That's all we'll have for you here.
Okay, quickly, let's talk about the perennial, let's say, exiter from PDP, exiting 3 times, former vice president of the country, talking about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Now, in one of the papers, it was captured there that the reason why he is leaving is because he is selfish. Probably he wants to be, you understand, the presidential candidate, even before the primaries, before the convention, and before even the 2027. I'm sure that would be the reason why this young man...
He has always been a presidential candidate of his
But this time around, maybe the party say, let's do something different. And the guy said, okay, fine, if you guys are not going to be taking me, I port to some other place. And the question
that...
that...
Is being a presidential candidate a profession? No. You have tried once.
It's like
and very soon now they will start quoting Abraham Lincoln for me. You have tried once, tried this, tried that. Okay, maybe this one, he came second, but he knew that that wasn't the outcome of that election.
Abraham Lincoln was coming from the very bottom, down up. He was failing. Even got to the presidency and he was failing before he finally got it. Atiku has just been hitting one spot. His own is consistent in presidential. He has no business in being governor. He won governor.
Local
but he didn't
start
chairman. Exactly. So he didn't go through the ranks. You understand? So, but now
Senate, House of Reps, all those.
He didn't go through all of those.
Because he jumped. That's why we'll have some of these professional politicians not knowing what they are doing, because it didn't start where you're supposed to start. You start from the beginning to climb, so that by the time you get to where you are going to, you would have had experience.
Yeah, exactly. People would have seen your antecedent and know what you're capable of doing.
You would have known where you missed it and then how to correct yourself when you get to the next level. But then you just jump from one corner to become the president of the country. Probably, and then we expect you to do wonders.
Probably when he won the governorship election, that was in 1999, to become the governor of Adamawa State, before Obasanjo came to poach him. He would have just said, let me serve my people. Your Excellency, look for some other person.
Let me tutor myself on governance.
Exactly, let me tutor myself. Let me, but VP slot is just too huge to resist. And probably he was a greenhorn. You can compare who he was 1999. You understand? 1999, he was a very young, vibrant young man. You understand? So, but then at the same time, if he had gone to be the governor of Adamawa State, probably served for 8 years, then he would have learned a whole lot.
Go to Senate from there, like they usually do. You finish from your state, you move to the Senate.
So maybe that is what is making
and become the
the president or whatever you want to be. So,
like
like he's been captured here, Atiku's exit won't affect our fortunes. That's coming from Makinde, the governor of Oyo.
And then
Bode George is stalwart there.
They should stop talking. Let's see how it will affect them. You understand?
So side by side, Atiku's exit from the PDP for the 3rd time, and then Anyaoku and Obasanjo, you know, having the same...
Yeah, but like I wanted to say earlier, that you are not supposed to give me the reason why I want to come to work today or why I do what I do. I am the only person that will give you reason why it's like that. And he has said this, Atiku, that is because of the irreconcilable, you know, differences they have in PDP, which of course, I know that's one of the reasons that all of them give when they move from APC to this and from that to that. It's not only Atiku. You guys are professional politicians. That's the way we have been moving. So his own will not be different. You people move. If I count the number of parties that some of them have been to, you start shouting. So this is not new to us. When I saw that the news last night, it didn't make any news to me because a lot more people will still move.
Will still move, of course.
Once they don't get what they want in this political party, they port to another political party because that's no ideology. You know, it's not like, no, I don't want to go to this party because I don't share the same ideology with them. There is no single ideology in any of the political parties. So the only ideology there is go and fill your pockets. So that's the ideology everybody is, you know, is practicing in all the political parties. So you are free to move. Yeah.
Well, still talking about ideology and movement. Nigeria's problems, Obasanjo and Anyaoku disagree over 1999 Constitution. These are elder statesmen in different capacity. Anyaoku, former UN Secretary General, Commonwealth, Secretary of the Commonwealth, and now you're talking about Obasanjo, former president of the country. And I believe that whatever differences that they are having based on this Constitution, 1999 Constitution, they should just set it aside and let us move and begin to work on that document. Because that document, sincerely speaking...
I don't think they're having any difference, AJ. The problem we'll have... There's some people were saying, last I was following that news, some people were saying that because it was the military that made that constitution, and that's why Obasanjo is supporting it. It's not that he's supporting it. After all, when he was here, there was amendments. Okay, we went through some amendments. But what Obasanjo was trying to say that it is not... Every time you say reform, 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 the ones who reform, like we discussed yesterday, all the electoral reforms that we had before 2023 election, were they applied? No. So it is not, the problem is not in the instrument, it's in the application, it's in the people handling the instruments. If everything good in our constitution has been applied, we won't be talking about changing of constitution. It's the application. That's where the problem lies.
Application, but there are still some areas. There are still some areas that still need to be touched.
Those ones that we touched before, where are they? No, where are they?
Maybe they are overlapping. You know? If you don't touch this one this way, if you don't touch that way, there's this document is like the procedure to perform a surgical operation. You don't operate somebody without cutting the person open. You understand?
No, they do now. Robotics.
That's from inside.
Yes, now. They do now. They don't cut now. Okay. And that's what Nigeria is trying to do with their constitution.
Let's see. It depends on that the kind of operation that you're trying to embark on. Now, Obedient deny alleged rift between Peter Obi and Nenedi Usman. Peter Obi, from what to know, still last week, when all this brouhaha of ADC coalition, the guy just silently said, I'm still member of Labour Party. I'm still a member of Labour Party. And now we have two factions in Labour Party. The one headed by Abure, the one headed by Nenedi Usman. I don't know if these people actually want this country to move ahead. Sincerely speaking, sometimes I really don't understand the issues with these political holders. Be it party chairman, be it our legislator, be it the judiciary, everybody seems to be wanting one thing or the other. I really don't know. Can't we all collapse our ego, our differences, and say, okay, fine, let us rescue this nation, for Christ's sake?
It's not collapsible. That's the problem we have here.
So these egos cannot collapse?
Yes.
Nobody can dobale for the other?
No. Everybody wants to be heard, everybody wants to be seen, and just like that. Okay, even when there's nothing in your head, in your coconut head, you don't have anything to offer, you still want to be heard and seen. That's just the problem. But talking about movement, whatever is going on in Labour Party will be one of the reasons now why Peter Obi may pot in no distance time. And not just him, a whole lot of them, because it can be, if they are a member of the coalition party of the, what they call it, ADC, you cannot be in two political parties at the same time. Perhaps that's why Atiku has just jettisoned PDP, and very soon he will declare whatever he wants to, where he's headed. Okay, but it's still going to happen. Most of them, those of them that are championing this coalition will eventually move. Okay, and what is going on in their different political parties is one of the things that will make their movement very easy. You understand? You want to retain this person, you know that this person is a potential. You do everything possible to retain the person, not what they are doing, not what, I don't know.
All right, we are still here talking about the dailies, and then let's see how federal government intends to boost local fish production to end importation. And that's what we have at the mast of the Daily Independent newspaper. Protein is becoming very scarce as complement, in fact, a necessary important ingredient in our menu. People are finding it so difficult to afford, what is it called? Meat. Now, fish, with the over 60% of Nigeria surrounded and then annexing water, yet fish is very expensive. Not to talk about the other aspect of it, the okporoko and the rest of it.
Don't go there.
Now, federal government is moving to boost local fish production to end importation. You know, most of these imported fish that we consume are actually not healthy.
They're not edibles.
You understand? They are actually not healthy. So if the federal government were to increase the local production of this, it would, in other way, gain some economic viability and then create job employment for our teeming youth and the rest of it. And then we'll have better nutrition for the 133 million Nigeria that are below the poverty bracket, facing multi-dimensional poverty. Yesterday it was cashew we saw. Today we are seeing fish. So I don't want to believe that all these things are just on the faces of dailies that we see there.
Exactly what I
so the question is, what are they actually doing? It's not
just for us to peruse and they see that you are doing something. The other time we had Emeka Fish here. Yeah. So we're asking, if maybe with all the dogonturechi, where is the fish? That's all I want to hear. That's all I want to see.
Because it's not reflecting in Anambra market.
It's not reflecting in Anambra market. It's not reflecting in Nigeria market. You are importing, you are producing, you are doing this. Where is the fish? I just asked one of my vendors that I need a Morocco. He said, okay. I said, one slot, how much? He said, it's 13,500. I said, how many pieces? He said, 3. AJ, 3. You know what I asked her? I said, okay, how many pieces will I cut one to ensure that at least that tray can make 6 different pots of soup? He said, no, I think it's you just pick one and drop. If you cut it, you're not going to 3 pieces of okporoko, 13,500 naira.
Well, I think we need to support the federal government in whatever thing they want to do in order boosting not just fish production or cashew planting for economic viability and the rest of it. Agri, look at what is it called? Benue State, Plateau State, which is known to be the food basket.
Because they produce everything.
They produce, in fact,
from yam to fish to everything.
Your Irish potato, your potato ginger and the rest of it, all those areas.
And now they're being dislodged. And nobody's talking, nobody's doing any concerted effort to ensure that this, knowing fully well that this is what they represent, that once they're not there, we are doomed. We are doomed when it comes to what we eat. So if there's anywhere you guys want to invest your energy and to protect, it's those axes, not just Benue, Plateau, all those middle
Southern Kaduna area
and Southern Kaduna area. That's coming from Kaduna State. But nobody's doing anything. We're just hanging on the air and then dancing when nobody's beating the music and even when nobody's watching.
All right, still talking about about our food production and the rest of it all. Now we are moving to the Daily Trust newspaper. We have experts link forex stability, seasonal farming to inflation drop. In some countries, in fact, in African countries, they've learned how to do what? To plant all year round. That's why irrigation, governments are really, investing, and people are even...
They do it here too. We do all year round.
All year round.
In Nigeria, all year round planting.
But it's not effective as
in it's in the north.
Yeah,
that's why we have so many dams there.
Yeah, to help
as they remove, as they harvest, they plant again. And then,
so all year round, we should be having food production and the rest of it.
And that's why food keeps coming from, what they call from the north.
But we can equally do that here. We don't even need dam in order to access that. We have tributaries to the Niger here.
Where is the political will?
Or maybe they are citing land as an issue. But that
Which land? This one that you guys are selling for estates?
Well, there's a whole lot we actually need to do in order to help ourselves here. But then, still on the Daily Trust newspaper, there's an alarming story. 151 police officers before disciplinary panel over ethical violation and others. And 34 sacked in 2 years. And this brings us to the Nigerian police and their service to Nigerians. In some climes, the sight of a policeman should bring succor, should bring calm to you. But if you happen to be in a public vehicle and then the driver sees the policeman, there's this level of tension that, engulfs the man. And sometimes even passengers alike don't appreciate the sight of police. And maybe that's why we're having 34 sacked for ethical behavior, maybe on the road or maybe in the discharge of their duties. And this calls for retraining of our Nigerian police and reorientation of Nigerian citizens in order to know how best to appreciate the job that these guys are doing. Sincerely speaking, it's not easy to stand under the sun, under the rain, leave your families, and then you brace up to facing whatever challenges you understand that the society has to offer. So I think there should be a balance between those that are serving us and those that we are looking up onto to serve us.
When you talked about reorientation, I was actually thinking that you're going to push it to the public, for them to have a kind of reorientation, what the police job, stands for. Because recently we saw what happened here in the Southeast, that the slot for employment or recruitment into police force of that of the Southeast were just empty. Nobody's coming out to be recruited. We keep crying that we don't have enough people, enough policemen to man the country. But how many of your brothers are in police force? How many of your villagers are in place? You get to a big village that you can count up to 25,000 people inhabiting the village. No single person is a police officer.
Well,
so who do you expect to come and
police you?
Police you.
You understand? And that's why I said the reorientation too, because sincerely speaking, Nigerian police force is not meant to be dominated by foreigners. So it has to be Nigerians actually doing the job of securing Nigerians. And then apart from even the fact that we have that apathy in this part of in Nigeria, there is need for the PGs, the Igwes, you understand, even other private organizations to resensitize. But then people begin to wonder, when you see the people that you want to be part of them, the way they behave. That's why I said it's a symbiosis kind of a relationship. The police needs to work on themselves. Then the Nigerian public will now see them as something worthy of being part of.
It will be attractive for people to...
You understand? And not just their spokesperson. Because Nigerian police, I don't know if it's deliberate. If you hear their spokesperson speak, I'm telling you, in any part of this world...
Those ones go to school now. You should understand.
If you hear their spokesperson speak, you'll be wondering, where these ones that we see on TV, these ones that the journalists interact with, how come they're different from the ones that we see on the street? How come they're different from the ones that we see on most checkpoints? So
that's why they are selected. They went to school, they were trained on what they are doing, and they keep going on training and improving themselves.
So now, what of the lot that we run into every day?
Oh yeah, you mentioned something that really scared me, because that's what is going to be like in future if we refuse to join the police force. the idea of people coming from other countries to enter your police force and then start policing you. Because that's what we're saying about security. Some of them are just spies, like we have in, you know, other developed nations. Okay, maybe people that are looking for a way to run your nation down, and they know you have this apathy joining police force, and then they push their young guys to go and pick NIM somewhere, and then register, we are from this state, we are from this state, and join police force. Before you know it, they will dominate your police force. And then we're doing those things that you complain about. How can I see a police officer and he will ask me for money? If I say I don't have, he will cock gun and shoot me. Because it's not your brother. And he's here to kill. He's not here to police you. Okay? So when you take ownership of what belongs to you, you will be able, you wouldn't do that kind of thing. You wouldn't want to kill your brother. That's what we're trying to say.
In fact, I said it here some time ago, not once, not twice, and I've said it. I might need to say it again, that in some countries, a police force is more like your compulsory NYSC. As you're coming out from NYSC, you're drafted to go and do your public listing. Then you spend 1 year compulsorily in the police force, and there are so many arms of the police.
No, not. You didn't even talk, because somebody has raised that issue. Instead of this thing that they go to do in schools, and some of them don't even do anything, they just go and, we all did youth service. We don't go and register and then be sharing your money with your supervisor or whatever, and then you go your own. Some of us were even getting married during our giving birth and going for our honeymoon during our own time. But what we're trying to say is, why don't we use that 1 year as a full military and paramilitary training?
Let it be 2 years. 1 year
some
full.
Some will be moved to armies. Some to
exactly.
Police, some to Navy, just like that. For that 1 year, you are a combatant.
A combatant. It will definitely help reduce some of this crime that we are facing here in our locality. And some can even be drafted into our local police, you understand, apparatus, like we have in Agune Chamber here, Udogachi, and then other vigilante services. These are ways countries should look inwards and begin to think of other solutions, you understand, inward solutions to the problems that we are facing on the area of security, because actually the job is not even out there for most of our graduates to even get something to do. Well, that's how I'll be wrapping it up this morning on Press Review. Well, the papers are out there for you to go pick up 1 or 2, read, and then get yourself equipped, because knowledge, they say, is power. And the more you know, the better for you. I still remain Ajuli Chukokabwe. Up next is the discussion segment this morning.
Just stand by.